Y'all, I could literally cry right now. Like, I don't even have the strength and the patience and the energy. I haven't even eaten breakfast. It's about 2 p.m. I can't even close this closet. Usually before I film, I'm like, at least let me close this closet. Can't even do it. Welcome. Those are my jeans. And that's how I hang them. Because if I don't see them, I don't know what I have. Because I'm struggling with object permanence. And I literally forgot that I put away half of my winter clothes under my bed. And so then I went and bought things because I was like, I have no clothes. And then I literally was like, okay, if I'm gonna put these new clothes away, I have to get rid of all of the old clothes that I have. Not all of them, but like most of them that I don't wear. And then I pulled out my storage that I keep under the bed, and then I found most of my sweaters and sweatpants that I was looking for. And I said, oh, I do have clothes. I just forgot that they existed. Also, you're like sitting on my bed because I'm like, I don't know where the tripod is and it's probably gonna shake, so forgive me, but also I can't be bothered, and I'm not even upset. I'm just genuinely frustrated with the way that my brain works at times, and I also know that it's what makes me special, so I'm going to give myself the grace. But right now I can't give myself much grace because basically I'm in a large pool of decision fatigue. I am sitting in it, I'm swimming in it. I cannot make a decision to save my life. I cannot make a decision to save my right arm. I will just tell them to take it. Take it, sir. I don't know. I have no idea. Basically, I am planning a trip to Italy, having so much fun, so much excitement. And I found 2 hotels that I'm really excited for, and I was like, okay, these are the hotels that I want. And then for some reason, we're going to Florence, and I just can't decide. I know this is shaking this annoying. Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do about it. Okay, sorry, but I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try not to move a lot, but you already know I talk with my hands. Anyway, so I am now trying to find a hotel in Florence, and why is it so hard? I think that there's just like a pressure on me, and I don't know why I'm putting the pressure on myself, but because that I'm putting so much pressure on myself, I literally have researched every single hotel in Florence. There are so many hotels. I can tell you, I can name them for you. I can tell you what stars they have, the reviews, the issues that people were having with them. Like, I get in this aggressive cycle, and then obviously person I'm going with is like, it's fine, just make a decision, it's fine. And then I'm like, okay, finally, I'm like, this is the decision I'm gonna make, it's good, the price increases. I'm like, whoa, that was an unexpected turn. I was not expecting this, and honestly, it doesn't matter that much, but also because I wasn't expecting it, now I have to do a complete 360 more research into this thing that really doesn't require this much brain power, but I'm giving it so much of my brain that like everything else in my life is like I have no energy for everything else. I can't decide what to eat to do this. And it's just like so funny. Like, it's so silly because at the end of the day it doesn't matter. But also the thing that also is putting more pressure on me is that most of these hotels are non-refundable. And so I can't like change my mind, right? Like, I can't just decide like, okay, you know, I thought that this was the one, let's just book another one, because the other 2 that we booked were. So I can just decide up until like 3 months that I don't want that hotel anymore. But that's not where I'm at right now, okay? That's not where I'm at. So this hotel. So then I feel pressure from like the outside influences of like, let's just book it. It doesn't matter. And them saying it doesn't matter to me is like, no, it does. Like, you don't understand, like, this does matter. And the camera shaking is driving me crazy, so I know it's driving you crazy, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do about it. Is it still gonna shake here? Probably. Okay. So I've been aggressively in this cycle of decision fatigue, and something that I know is really not that important, and it doesn't need this much of my time and my research and my energy, but I'm putting it into it because at the end of the day, I'm really just scared to make the wrong decision. I'm just scared to make the wrong decision. I'm just scared to be disappointed. That's it. I'm scared to get there and be like, darn, like, this was the decision I made. And I see this happen with so many other things in my life, including eating out at new restaurants. I literally will cry. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do when TikTok goes away, because like I need to go look at the videos of people posting about the restaurant on TikTok. I need to see what they felt. I need to see, like, you know, is it good? I need to really brace my expectations. And I do that by like looking at videos, looking at reviews, looking at photos. Because I'm like, if I'm disappointed, I will have a mentee B. I will have a mental breakdown. I will break down. I will cry. Not actually, like I won't, but in my mind, like I'll be sitting there and I'll eat and I'll just be like, darn, like I should have done more research. Darn, I should have done this. I should have done this differently. I should have done that differently. When in reality, it's like, God willing, you will live another day. God willing, you will wake up and you will live another day, and you have the means. Like I have the funds in order to say like, that's fine. It was disappointing. I won't go back. But like, I never do that. I'm always just like, oh, this is the worst thing that could ever possibly happen. And it's debilitating. And I think I'm at a point, like I got to a point with this hotel, I had to close my computer, and I was like, RAENA. And I also was like, oh my goodness, like I need to film a video, and I had so many different videos that I wanted to film. And I was like, RAENA, this is not healthy. And you know it. And like your overthinking cyclical, I don't know what the word, cyclical ways of thinking is helpful sometimes. But in situations like this, it's not. And it's not the end of the world. You've been to Italy before. You've been there. You've been to hotels that were great. Like this is not the end of the world. It's going to be okay. You just have to make a decision. And the decision is not a life-threatening decision. It is okay. It is okay. And it is okay to be disappointed. I think that's like the biggest thing that I need to keep telling myself is like, it's okay to be disappointed actually. Like it's not the end of the world to be disappointed. And I think I've just been like, I've grown up, especially with the idea of like how drastic it felt to disappoint other people. Like it felt so drastic to disappoint like my parents. If I were to bring home a report card that wasn't up to the standard, like you guys understand what I'm saying, right? And the disappointment felt like a weight on my chest that like, I will never be able to repay this. Like I will never be able to come back from this. This is the worst thing that could ever happen to my mother. Like I am so sorry that I did this. But in reality, I'm like, wait, I actually put my left arm, I'm just gonna say arm, into this. Like I studied so hard, I did what I could, and this is the results that I got. Sue me. But I've like equated and correlated these feelings of disappointment and anger, not anger, my parents were like never angry, they were never angry, but like disappointment in my own work, as in like, it's never going to be good enough unless I put so much energy into it, unless I like do all of the research to prevent myself from this feeling of disappointment, to prevent myself from feeling like I just took someone's child and I didn't give them back. You know what I mean? But in reality, it's like, what? No, you are so past that. You're grown and you don't actually need to avoid disappointment. Like you don't need to avoid disappointment, because even if someone's disappointed, like that's what they chose to do, and you chose to do whatever that might have disappointed. Like if I'm disappointed in a restaurant, like okay, so be it. My taste buds did not enjoy what I just had. So be it. The world is not over. You know, it is okay. I will come back from this. If I'm disappointed in a hotel and I get there and I'm like, this is the worst hotel ever, I'm gonna like either talk to the front desk and be like, listen, there are mice in my room, right? You need to do something about this. I actually need a refund. And maybe they'll give me a refund. And if not, I will just be like, you know what? Not worth my happiness. I'm gonna figure out a solution. But instead, I'm like pouring energy and time, and just like my eyes are burning from looking at the screen, because I don't want to disappoint myself. Because I've correlated disappointment with this like extreme reaction. And in reality, that is not what it is. And it's okay to be disappointed. Like this is me working through this with you, me and you right now. I feel like this is like a diary, but I don't know, I've just realized that, and here's the thing, people tell me this all the time, like, it doesn't matter that much, like, you don't actually need to put in all that time for it, like, you don't need to do all this research, like, you don't need to research every single hotel that ever exists to be able to make your decision. You don't need to research every restaurant to be able to go eat out once. Like, you don't. But, like, in my mind, I do. I have to, like, really try my best to avoid disappointment. But it's just like, that's also really tiring and draining. Like, I'm pretty exhausted, and I've put other things aside to do this, and then I'm also falling behind on the things that I really need to pay attention to, the things that deserve my attention, the things that deserve my energy, that I'm going to get tenfold back. And so that's all to say, like, if you're there, because I know I just made a really crazy noise in my throat, but I know, like, if you're there with me and you feel that and you can relate to that, please, one, you're not alone. Girl, I am right there with you. I'm right there. But also, let's really realize why we're doing the thing that we're doing. It's not because we're like hotel critiques and we need a 5-star Michelin, you know, like, no. It's because we are trying to avoid an emotion that we really did not like as a kid. We really didn't. It was really not comfortable for us. And so as an adult, we will do everything in our last being to avoid that feeling of discomfort, of uncertainty, of like not knowing and being really scared and fearful of like what could come next if you don't do all the research and if you don't put in extra time. And now we've correlated extra time and energy and the feeling of being depleted with like, okay, it's good enough to make a decision, when in reality, no. Like, we can't go through life like that. We can't keep going through life and putting so much energy and time into making a decision, and then once we make the decision, it's like when I put so much energy into like choosing what I'm gonna eat, and then I get to the place I'm gonna eat and I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh my god, to get here, I can't even talk to you. I can't, not right now. Like, what? No, that's not a good way to live. And I appreciate you for being here with me, for us talking this through. I needed you here. I really need you here, because now I'm like, RAENA, you're so silly. Your mom is not even, I keep saying my mom, and I don't mean like my mom, but like my mom, my dad, my family. And the thing about it is like, my parents are Caribbean. They don't know that they're doing that. They're just like, what? Why isn't it an A+? What's going on? And it's like, whoa. It's an A-. Let's all chill and relax. And they don't know, because that's how obviously they're raised, and this is their first time on this planet living. This is their first time being an adult. And so that's just what they know how to do, and that's how they know how to encourage. So like, I don't blame them. But it's also, I realize and I understand that it's put me in a position that I'm like, oh my goodness, I put so much weight on decisions. I put so much energy into making a decision that I think that this is the last time I'm going to make a decision, when in reality, it's not. And this is going to happen again. And I need to understand and do like exposure therapy in order to teach myself that decisions have to be made daily, especially as a business owner. Like, are you kidding me? I have to make decisions all the time. And like, I can't devote one day to one decision. It just can't be that way. And for a very long time, like, that's kind of the lesson that I've like learned this new year, like in this past couple of days, just like seeing things that I want to bring in this year. That's not one of them. Like, I don't want to sit behind a decision for a day and then carry it into the next day. Oh, that's the worst. Carry it into the next and the next and the next. And you're like, oh my goodness, this whole week I've devoted to this one thing. I've been thinking about this one thing. I've been trying to come to terms with this one thing. Like, oh my goodness, you know how unfortunate that is? Like, if someone told you like you have a week to live and you used it trying to make one decision, oh, you wouldn't. You would be so quick to be like, okay, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. And I feel like that's probably just kind of I know it's like drastic from like one end to the other, but I feel like that's just like the type of energy I have to bring into it, where I'm like, if this is the last day, girl, I'm not spending my whole day thinking about this one thing. I have things to do. I have things I want to see, you know? And yeah, this is just a come to earth for me, like a grounding situation. And I know I'm speaking it out now, and I really am trying to, it's like an addiction, honestly. Like, it kind of is an addiction, where I'm addicted to the research and the processing and the thinking and the like going through everything until I make a decision, because it feels like I'm doing something proactive and helpful for my being, but it's just a defense mechanism. It's just me trying to avoid the uncomfortable feelings that might result from an action that I took. And so in order to avoid the feeling of uncomfortability, I go through this long process of research. And even after that long process of research, I still don't want to make a decision because I might be too uncomfortable. I might make the wrong decision and still be disappointed. And that's really upsetting. But then also hear me out. The other end of it, the other end of this is that I am really good at finding really good places because I actually put time into it. Like, I honestly, like, now that I'm thinking about it, and this is probably actually what I need to tell myself, and if you're also going through this, I think I've just unlocked what we need to tell ourselves, is that, like, because we've gotten so good at learning what to look for and what to do and how to do our research and the places to look and the things that we enjoy, I've gotten so good at picking those places that when I do pick restaurants, I'm not disappointed. Like, when I do pick places that I'm gonna go to, I've done, like, you know, obviously a lot of research, but I don't need to do half the amount of research in order to pick up a place. I don't need to do half the amount of research in order to be satisfied. And I feel like the places that I have picked, I've been very satisfied. And so I just need to tell myself, have you let yourself down before? Maybe. But is it a reoccurring thing that you have done? No. And so what are you trying to prevent yourself from in doing all this research, this? A feeling that I never really gave to myself. Like, I really don't think I've disappointed myself. I don't think about times in where I, like, people can call them mistakes or like whatever, that I've fully disappointed myself. I've been disappointed, but that's life, right? And it happens. And we can also reprogram disappointment as just something that we're probably not going to do again, or we probably don't want to experience again, but the specific thing, not the emotion, right? Like, not the I don't want to be disappointed ever again. It's like, I don't want to go to that restaurant ever again. That's fine, that's doable. But saying I don't want to be disappointed ever again is probably not possible, or it is, but you have to reframe your definition of disappointment. Okay. Oh, so thank you for coming to my therapy talk. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Like, I needed you. We should do this more often. Let me know if we're like this or not. Let me know if you're there. But this is also, like, I tell people this all the time. I think for me, that was like normal, what's going on in my mind. Like, I'm usually always struggling with something, like, normally, and then I'm talking it through to come, like, I'm a very external processor, so talking it through to come up with, like, okay, this is really why I feel this way, this is really why I'm doing this thing, and it helps me to move forward. But I think sharing that online is also hard because a lot of people tell you have to be seen as an expert in your thing or a thought leader in this space, and for me, I've given that the incorrect definition of, like, experts don't struggle or experts don't have problems, or it's like, no, they do. They do. That's why they've figured out ways to cope or ways to, you know, go about their situation in order to come out of it on the other side feeling like, okay, I have an understanding of this, which makes me an expert. So that's all to say, yeah, that's where I'm at. And by the time this goes up, girl, if I don't, in the comments, be like, did you book that hotel? Did you do it? Because if you haven't, like, we don't have to talk. And let me go book the hotel. Let me go, girl. Let me hang up the call. I gotta go. I gotta run. But love you. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. Pray for me. I'm praying for you. Let's keep each other in our prayers, please, because we gonna need it.